11 Home and Away for next week. Home and Away spoilers follow for UK viewers. Coming up on Home and Away, traumatised Felicity returns to her old hometown to try and make peace with her past. Elsewhere, Dean and Ziggy wave farewell to Summer Bay, and Theo's decision to get away from Harvard creates a rift between Leah and Justin. Here's a full rundown of 11 big moments coming up. With their romance back on, Cash and Eden make up for lost time in the bedroom. Felicity accidentally walks in on them, and seeing her brother's happiness makes her regret ending things with Tane. Meanwhile, Tane is also feeling lost and alone, but he is determined to carry on respecting Felicity's request for space. Later, Felicity reaches a decision and tells Tane she's leaving town. He sweeps her into his arms for a kiss. But she pulls away, unable to face hurting him all over again. Racked with guilt, Felicity stays true to her word and hitchhikes a ride with a stranger out of Summer Bay. As news of Felicity's departure reaches Cash, he fears his sister is headed for another breakdown. His concern only grows when their foster father Gary calls to say Felicity has turned up at his house. Somewhere she hasn't been since she was 16. Admitting her country hometown was the place her life started to go wrong, an emotional Felicity decides it's time she faced her demons. Gary takes her to her parents' grave, where Felicity finally lets down her guard and speaks to her dead dad. Tearfully vowing to change her ways, Felicity wants to focus on being happy, so Gary gently suggests reaching out to Tane. Back in the Bay, Tane is surprised to receive a voicemail from Felicity, who has taken Gary's advice to get in touch. In an instant, he drops everything and drives straight to her hometown. Rocking up on Gary's doorstep, Tane proves his commitment to Felicity, but wants answers about her recent reckless behavior. Felicity manages to push her way through the discomfort and confesses her love for him. Can the couple find a way back to one another? Dean feels like his family is falling apart following Amber's decision to move away with Jai. But Ziggy has a solution to the problem, and suggests they should follow his son to Queensland as there's nothing much keeping them in the Bay. Dean jumps at the idea of a fresh start and the chance to be a dad to both his kids. But then comes the problem of breaking the news to Mackenzie, who's having a tough time trying to support Gabe through his illness. With their hearts set on relocating to Queensland, Dean and Ziggy prepare to share their decision with Mackenzie. But when she breaks down over Gabe's upcoming chemo treatment, Dean has a crisis of conscience and decides he can't leave his sister when she needs him most. Witnessing Mackenzie's distress, Marley offers Dean his support, knowing what it's like to grow up without a dad. He encourages him to follow Jai to Queensland and promises to look after Mac in his absence. Taking matters into her own hands, Ziggy tells Mackenzie about the move to Queensland, in the hope she will give Dean her blessing. Thankfully she does, and Mackenzie tells Dean to go and be a father to Jai, insisting she will cope without him. Soon it's time for Dean, Ziggy and baby Izzy to say their goodbyes to the home that's meant so much to them. There are tears, hugs and good wishes as their loved ones gather to wave the young family off on their new adventure. Following Dean and Ziggy's exit, Mackenzie takes the plunge by inviting Gabe to move in with her. It's a huge step, but Mac declares she's committed to their relationship, through sickness and health. The reality of Dean's departure hits as Mackenzie returns to her newly empty home. She breaks down in tears, but Gabe is there to comfort and support her. With Theo feeling uncomfortable about them living under the same roof, Ava goes above and beyond to make amends for her stalkerish behavior. She cooks a family meal, but while it's enough to get her back in Justin's good books, Theo just isn't buying it. Annoyed, Theo calls his teen tormentor out, but she gets all defensive and claims he led her on. It's the final straw for Theo, who asks Kirby if he can move in with her, much to Leah's dismay. Leah's caught between a rock and a hard place, wanting to support Justin's parenting, but adamant her nephew shouldn't be driven out of his home. Rue offers to defuse the situation by becoming Ava's tutor, and proves she's more than a match for the sassy youngster. Later, Rue witnesses Ava's distress as Theo moves out and realizes she still harbors feelings for him. Leah's left devastated by Theo's departure and turns on Justin, ordering him to sort his daughter out. He reckons she's overreacting, but is furious to learn Rue has been recruited to spy on Ava and blames Theo for causing all the drama. Keen to avoid the awkward atmosphere with Bree, Remy decides to channel his energies into Lyric. He's unable to shake the feeling something is up though, so he confronts Bree, wanting to know if he's done anything to upset her. Remy doesn't know that Bree is pregnant and is in turmoil, not knowing if the baby is his or Jacob's. Knowing telling Remy the truth would mean discussing how she was forced to have sex with Jacob whilst kidnapped. Bree resolves the only way to solve the problem is to cut Remy out of her life completely. Rose is feeling positive about her future with Marley after being given the stamp of approval from his sister Elandra. The couple's good fortunes continue when Marley learns Dean has gifted him the board shop following his move to Queensland. Marley takes it as a positive sign that being in Summer Bay, with Rose and his new business, is exactly where he's supposed to be. Home and Away airs weekdays at 1:45 p.m. on Channel 5 and 6 p.m. on 5 Star. First look screenings air at 6:30 p.m. on 5 Star and the show also streams on My 5. Selected classic episodes are available via Prime Video in the UK. Read more Home and Away spoilers on our dedicated homepage. You might also like Animal Crossing New Horizons is finally announced on Nintendo Switch. How to watch Amazon Prime on your TV, smartphone and tablet, and enjoy Good Omens online. Nintendo to release 2 new Switch consoles this year.